and we're going to move on with our makeup. And the most important part of this look is the fact that Leighton's skin is just absolutely glowing and beautiful, and it doesn't look like she's packed a lot of makeup onto it. The first thing you always want to do before you apply any makeup is to make sure that you're working with a nice clean palette and to make sure your skin is well hydrated. Which means you always need to wash your face beforehand, and you always want to put moisturizer on. My two personal favorites for washing my face is Clean Steam Craving for Clean by Murad. And my favorite moisturizer is Sephora's Instant Moisturizer if you only try one. And this particular moisturizer has won a ton of awards. It's wonderful. I've been using it now for almost a year, and I can't imagine using another one. But obviously you can use whatever kind of moisturizer or face wash you like. Whatever works for your skin type is best. My skin type might not be the same as yours.
After you've washed and moisturized your face, the next thing you'll want to do is go ahead and apply something to your face that will act as a barrier between your makeup and your skin. And I highly recommend Mercier's foundation primer, but you can use any primer that you like. And this is just going to ensure that your makeup really stays on your skin, and it's really going to help it to give a really fresh, nice, glowy kind of look instead of having it look like it's caked on your face. It's a personal choice of mine to go ahead and use brushes to apply any makeup to my face and my eyes. However, if you prefer to use your fingers or you prefer to use a sponge, that's completely up to you. I just prefer the type of coverage I get when I use a brush. After you've applied some sort of base, the next step is to use a tinted moisturizer to provide your skin with a nice even tone, but also one that looks glowy, which is why I'm avoiding using a foundation here and only using a tinted moisturizer. The one I chose to use was Stila's Illuminizing Moisturizer, and I believe this shade is 01. It's the lightest it comes in. If you prefer to use an Illuminizing powder on top of your tinted moisturizer, that's fine as well. I just prefer the look that I get from this, and you do want to avoid a foundation because that's going to make your skin look a little too cakey, and this look is about looking light and glowy.
That nice, really pretty glow, you're going to want to go ahead and use some sort of bronzer. You want to make sure that something that's not too dark. We are headed into winter, so you don't want anything that looks really orangey or patchy. You just want something that gives you a nice natural glow. For me, I really like Stila's Pacific Coast Highway, and it comes in this particular palette. I don't know if it comes on its own, but it's in the Living the Life Laguna palette. And it's this bottom shade right here. For me, I'm so fair-skinned that I really do need a bronzer that's actually got just a little bit more of a peach or a coral to it than it is an actual bronze. But you go ahead and use whatever it is that looks best on your skin type.
To apply the bronzer, I'm just going to be going ahead and using a nice fluffy powder brush. I'm just going to use it around the edges of my face, along my cheekbones, just a little bit, just to give my face a little color and a little bit of a highlight.
You can really see that Leighton's got a beautiful flushing cheek color going on. And so you're going to want to use just a little bit of blush. You don't want to go overboard, and you just want to use it on the apples of your cheek. The shade that I'm using is from the Stila Garden Bliss palette, and the color is Bloom. This bottom color right here. Blush, we're going to go ahead and move on to our eyes. And the first thing that you want to do is go ahead and apply some sort of base that's going to help the shadow to stay put and not crease, and it's also going to create a nice evenness in skin tone underneath your brow bone and down into your eyelids so that you really get the most pop of color possible out of the shadow. I prefer Urban Decay's Eyeshadow Primer Potion.
I'm applying the primer potion using a very small concealer brush, and I'm using the primer potion all the way up from my eyelid, all the way up to underneath the brow bone. And you'll notice I'm using it all the way down to the lash line, and I even try to make sure to get those little areas that we normally forget, like the outer corner, the inner corner, and even under the lash line. The first eyeshadow color I'll be using is Kitten by Stila, and it's one of their award-winning colors. I'm using this color because it's a nice peachy nude color that's got just the perfect shimmer that's really going to open up your eyes and highlight the colors of your eyes. I'm applying the shade using a fluffy shadow brush. The brush I'm using is from ELF Cosmetics, and it's just a nice fluffy shadow brush that's good for applying the color. And I'm applying the color all over my eyelid, up underneath my brow bone, all over my lid. Next, I'm going to apply a color to my crease, and the color that I'm going to be using is Cove, and it's by Stila, and it's from the Living a Life Laguna palette. And I'm going to be using this just in my crease. It's a very pretty, natural kind of mauve color. It's not too purple, not too pink. And I'm going to apply it using a angled shader shadow brush, and the one I'm using is from ELF Cosmetics. At the end, I'm just going to grab my fluffy shadow brush again, and I'm just going to use that to blend everything in so there aren't any super defined lines and everything looks natural and well blended.
Is one of NYX's jumbo eye pencils, and you can get these at Ulta or online, and it's a very affordable product. I believe this was $4, and you really get a lot of use out of these jumbo eye pencils. And what I'm going to do is just very, very lightly, because it is actually strangely pigmented for white, I'm going to just put this just underneath my lash line very delicately, and the shade that I'm using is number 608 Cottage Cheese. And it's a very, very shimmery white.
The purpose of using this NYX pencil is twofold. The first is that it's going to provide a really great base for applying a very light shadow underneath my lash line on the bottom. But the other purpose is to open up my eyes. So I want to make sure that I'm not just getting underneath the lash line, but that I'm also getting in the corner of my eyes near my tear ducts. It's really going to open up my eyes, and it's just going to make the whole look seem a little bit lighter.
Shadow that I used on top with Precision. I'm going to use one of Sephora's professional applicators, and this is just like a...
The next step is going to be to apply some shadow, and I'm going to be doing that using first a Sephora professional shadow applicator, and this is just a really nice sponge tip applicator. It's kind of a play off something you get in a compact, but it's got a much more precise tip. It's a little bit more tapered, and it lasts longer than the ones that would come with your makeup kits.
I'm getting just a little bit of color right there on the tip, and as you can tell, it's very pigmented. And I'm just very gently going to kind of tap it on underneath right where I put the jumbo eyeshadow pencil.
The next step is going to be your eyeliner. I'll be using Smashbox's Limitless Liner in the color Onyx. And the trick here is that you don't want to overline. Leighton's eyes are really bright and open, so you don't want to use too much. You don't want your eyeliner to look big and chunky. I'm going to start on the lower lash line, and I really just want to get it on the waterline and just get a nice light coat. It doesn't need to be super heavy or super thick. And I'm going to line the entire rim, but again, very lightly. Make sure you've got your pencil sharpened to a nice point so it's easy for you to get some really good precision. I'm just going to go out all the way to the end of my outer V on the bottom. On the top, I'm only going to outline really like maybe my outer 1/3, just to get the outer V of my eye really pronounced. And you just want to go right to the corner. You don't want to go too far and wing it out. You just want to go to the place where your natural V ends. Before I start on my mascara, I just want to apply a really good thick coat of lip balm to my lips, because after I do my mascara, I'm going to be adding some lip color, and I just want my lips to be nice and hydrated.
I'm going to use 2 coats. The first coat I'm going to use is Laura Mercier's Blown Volume Mascara, or Full Blown Volume Mascara, and this is just in the shade Black. This is a sample size that I got. They have a large size too. Now you could stop right there if you really wanted to, but I like to add a second coat of mascara, and I'm going to be using CoverGirl's Exact Eyelights in Black Sapphire. And this is meant to go ahead and bring out your natural eye color. My eye color is blue. And I've been using this mascara for a very long time now, and I'm very happy with the results. You can go ahead and use whatever mascara you like for this, but I love Clinique's Bottom Lash Mascara, and I'm using it in shade 2, Black and Brown. Or blackish brown, rather. Gloss. I'm going to be using Smashbox Lip Enhancing Sheer Color. This is my favorite lip gloss ever. It's a very nice, pretty, shimmery nude shade. It looks good on everybody, and the shade is called Illum. I want to put a really nice thick coat on this.